In today's video, we'll create a quick display base or diorama using XPS foam and UV putty. I'll share with you how quick and easy it is to create a display piece or diorama with some foam and UV putty. Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. This channel is supported by all these awesome brands. Also, special thanks to The Army Painter for making this video possible. The idea of creating a diorama with trolls came about when Clay Cyanide sent me a handful of trolls, 3D printed trolls. And I don't want to create 5 videos of the same troll, or not really the same troll, but trolls in different poses. So I thought of creating a diorama. This video was supposedly just an unboxing and review video of this fan cream called UV Putty. But then again, I figured let's add a bit more value to the video by creating a diorama. We start by cutting the foam into different rectangular pieces so that our workflow will be a little bit more efficient. You need XPS foam, steel rulers, and cutters. Similar to cutting plastic sheets, you should apply less pressure or light pressure, especially on the first few passes. Once the cuts are deep enough, now you could apply more pressure as you cut through the XPS foam. Now we have more than enough XPS foam in rectangular shapes so that we could play with the basic composition of our diorama. After cutting the foam into rectangular pieces, we try to create the basic shape or the structure of the rock formations of our diorama. We use different pieces, different shapes so that we come up with an interesting rock formation. We start with the actual base of the diorama, which is a 5 inches by 5 inches square piece. Key to carving the sides or the shape of the basic pieces, the initial pieces, is to make your shavings and your cuts as random as you can. You want randomness but at the same time balance with your base shape, so use odd numbers when doing or creating your composition. After cutting the basic shape of the foam, we then refine the carving of the foam with an art knife. We start, of course, with the box cutter and then slowly go through the details of the rock formations with a smaller art knife. Now continue to use the box cutter as you define the shape and the basic shape of your diorama. As you can see in the video, I'm cutting wedges in different angles so that I create randomness and a hillside or cliffside look to our foam. Once you're happy with the sculpting with your box cutter, you could now move on to using an art knife so that you could add more details. Now, similar to the cutting with the box cutter, you want your cuts to be smaller but at the same time as random as you can. Now, this is the most fun part of the carving of the XPS foam. You could add as much details as you want. Also notice that I use UV resin to glue the pieces together. Now, if you're getting value out of this video, do consider subscribing to my channel and do give this video a thumbs up. Now we need to determine the front part of our diorama, and then we need to position all the trolls so that it looks very interesting and well balanced. Now the trolls that came from Clay Cyanide are pretty unique from each other, so it was so much fun composing them on our diorama. Now I use super glue to glue the war trolls on the base, and you might be asking why am I gluing the figures on the base already, and I'll tell you why later in the video. Now, one of the most important part of working with XPS foam is using a lighter and heating it up. Key here is to apply the flame or the heat in continuous motion. You don't have to apply heat longer on an area than you have to. What the heat does is that it makes the XPS foam harder and stronger. It makes the dense foam denser. Also, the heat melts the foam a little bit, making our sculpting look more organic. Now we go through the basic unboxing of the UV putty sent to me by Fan Cream. So Fan Crickle sent me a ton of putty, and they sent me two kinds or two types of UV putty. The funny thing about Fan Crickle is that they also sent samples or putty for review to my daughter Nico. But apparently me and my daughter are talking to two different marketing people from Fan Crickle. So if you are into Gunpla, you might want to check my daughter's video since she used it on working on a Gunpla. Like I said earlier, one of the reasons why I decided to create a diorama is because Fan Crickle sent me too many. Fan Crickle told me that the putty inside the canisters, the tin canisters, are best used within 6 months. Now, if you have this putty and it's starting to dry up, you could rehydrate it with alcohol. Now, my daughter only got the putty that came in the canisters, the tin canisters. She did not get this toothpaste putty, which I had the most fun using. This putty kinda reminds me of silicone for aquariums. Now comes the fun part of using the putty. I did not show it in the video, but you have to poke a hole on the cap or the tip of this black dispenser. I think you have to wear gloves for safety reasons, but as you can see in the video, I just tried not to touch the putty. The putty should cure under UV light in around 20 seconds to maybe around a couple of minutes, depending on the thickness of your application. Now, once properly cured, the putty will cure into a very hard resin. Cured putty should not be tacky or sticky. So you can see in the video, I'm touching the putty to check if it's properly cured. I think the putty curing will be more efficient if you have a wash and cure station. Like you could apply the putty all over the diorama and put it in the wash and cure station. Our XPS foam is very dense and hard already since we applied flame earlier, and now it has a shell of resin. Now I did not use the putty that came in the tin canisters as much as I wanted since I want to prime or paint already. Now the putty that came in the canisters are more solid, more dense. Basically, it has more body than the putty that came with the black dispenser. This putty, since it has more body, is actually more versatile than the other one. You could sculpt vines, skulls, or even more rock formations with this putty. Oh, by the way, this putty is very much sandable once cured. So you could see that at my daughter's video. Now we do slop chop or dry brush under painting with Warpaints Fanatic. I'm using Foxbite goat hair dry brushes. Oh, do check out my Foxbite links below because you'll get 10% discount at the USA website. Now again, you might be wondering why I glued the trolls on the base already. The idea is simple. People use Speedpaints for army painting. For me, I'll use Speedpaints for speed painting a diorama. But of course, we'll do the painting in a separate video. Now before my final thoughts, a huge thanks to all my patrons at Patreon, Hajime Model Studio, and of course the Army Painter for making this video possible. Now I think this is the most fun unboxing video that I have ever done. A huge thanks to Fan Crickle for sending me so many UV putty. Also super thanks to Clay Cyanide for sending me this super cool War Trolls. Oh, in case you're wondering, the primer that I use, the black primer that I use is from Army Painter. Also, I gave the whole piece a quick matte varnish using the Warpaints Fanatic matte varnish. Notice that I did not add details or tiny details like mushrooms or even skulls on the diorama yet. But I do plan to add like a water feature around the rock formations. Also, the rounded like stones or rocks around the main structure are actual pebbles. I did not use PVA glue on the pebbles and the sand around the main structure, and I used UV putty to glue them all together. The main advantage of not using Mod Podge or other PVA glue is that this structure, the whole piece, is very much water resistant or waterproof even after painting. The whole diorama, except the wooden base, is very much waterproof. Being waterproof is great, especially once this diorama accumulates so much dust, you could simply clean it under the sink. That's it, Pansit. I hope you like this video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Until next video, guys. Bye! Now, if you like this video, do check out these other videos.